Good morning. It's about cactus growing, cactus care. I have a lot of cactus seedlings here to discuss. And I also brought a lot of other stuff. A wide variety of different things to do on the stream today. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, we will do a lot of different and interesting things. So let me get started here. I am starting to transplant seedlings into washed pumice. So I just wanted to do one after the other. Hey, good morning. Need to deactivate the obligatory automatic translator again. I need to find where to deactivate that in the settings. It does it every time again. It's really a bad feature. But yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. Great to have you. Thank you for joining. Have a lot of stuff today, different stuff, interesting. So I will try to do it well on the stream today, to do it justice, because it's a few different things that I want to do. I brought the water sprayer that I want to take apart to look into what's been clogging it. With these bigger water sprayers, they often something always breaks, something always clogs. So we will take it apart and see if we find whatever made that thing unusable, because I need it for the seedlings. And yeah, apart from that, again, I brought a lot of cactus seedlings today. Want to talk those through. Been fertilizing, watering, everything that didn't get fertilizer has been watered. Yeah, and over here I brought a few seedlings that had bad soil, too organic. So now, in order to save them, I want to take off the rotten root system. Okay, cleaned it up. You could still see a little bit of the infection getting deeper, so I took off a little bit more. This one here too, I selected them because they had all the same kind of root problems. This is clean. And here's one. It has a discoloration at the base, and I'm not 100% sure if I should cut it or not, but I probably will cut it. It's a little bit too small to be cut, actually, so maybe I will try to give it a couple weeks before we do it. So the other two, these will go under my plant lamp to heal the wound, to callus the wound in winter. When I like indoors, when I'm doing something indoors over winter and I need the kind of outdoor setting with sunlight and all, then I'm using different kind of LED panels, LED lamps, and they are great. They, in this case, when I put them under a LED panel, it stops the infection, and then I can reroot the two that I remove the roots now, and yeah, that will eventually they will be healthy again. If I hadn't removed that right now, it would have continued to become worse and worse. So these will go under the plant lamp, just keeping them away from water, just a little bit UV light to heal the wound. Okay. Yeah, I brought a lot of different stuff, so let me take one by one. I wanted to clean up these. This is something from the greenhouse that I've seen, but they were not well potted. So I wanted to look into that. So let me just get some gloves. Because I had treated them with neem. Everything that I brought in, I treated. But I really don't like how this looks. So we will change the soil. I will put these into a different container with washed pumice. Let me see if I have one that's a little bit more full. Yeah, this is good. I brought me a few containers with washed pumice earlier. Washed pumice is a great medium for cacti. Very fast draining, and in this case, yeah, it will be good kind of soil. So here's a wound that I don't like, but this is a small seedling. If we start cleaning up here, there might be nothing left, but we need to do it. Yeah, see, this had a channel inside, but yeah, this is bad now. It doesn't have a lot of substance, so maybe we can save it the way it is now. I don't see an infection inside. The only thing that is left is the impression that the infection left. So maybe we can dry it under a plant lamp also, this one. So I will pot this one up and wound upwards so the sunlight can reach it. Here's another seedling. I had to treat them against mealybug, I think. Saw them in the greenhouse. And when I see mealybug, I go against it now really, really hard. It's a bad pest, and I try to get rid of it entirely. So every time something happens, I find it, then the seedlings need to be sprayed too, and seedlings are very, very sensitive. You can easily overdo it with them. So yeah. This will go into fresh washed pumice, nothing else. The fertilizer, I will add the fertilizer later. For now, this is great. Okay, and these will stay in now. These have come from the greenhouse, have done poorly. Different kind of stuff. Here's another seedling that I overlooked. And now we're taking a look at every problem. Changing stuff that needs to be changed. I decided to bring in a lot more of the seedlings again, because I want to keep them inside a little longer, maybe half a year. That will make the difference probably. So this goes into the trash. Nothing I can do with that. Okay, next one. Here's seedlings, 3 seedlings that are in a 2 organic soil. In the beginning, I really like to grow in organic soil, sowing soil. But at a certain point, it becomes too, it stays wet too long. It's a little bit too hardy on the roots. So yeah, we are transplanting a lot of stuff into washed pumice now. Only have a few that I prepared. So I will take what I can get here. What I do, I will clean up the roots really well. The more organic stuff you bring into the new medium, the more it makes it unnecessary, you know, because you bring all the original medium with you, like with the seedling, and so it might still have some of the old problems. And again, welcome to the stream, guys. We will go through everything today. I brought a wide variety of different things that I want to do on stream. This seedling here doesn't look good. Doesn't look like the root is healthy. I will not cut now while it is wet. Sometimes things can look different when the seedling is wet. So I will wait a little, let this dry, and then I will look at it again. Yeah, and here also I will clean up the seedling, clean up the root, and this will go into the washed pumice now. That will make it easier for me to keep the roots perfectly healthy. Yeah, okay. Pseudolobivia seedlings, and the soil is done. This will go away right away. I don't want to keep it around. Okay. I'm trying to work clean, and it's not easy. Okay, then I saw these here, where I wanted to have a closer look at. This seedling here had melted. I suppose it was a cold damage, but I wanted to have a look. This is also washed pumice. It's not a bad medium. So these three, oh yeah, roots are not okay. This needs to be removed. Check it out. Usually caused by mealybug. This is why I'm going so hard against them. If you have a mealybug infestation, it gets really hard to, like the seedlings have constantly get these root problems that you wouldn't get otherwise. Okay, so I had to remove most of the seedling, but unfortunately it was diseased all the way. This thing here, this little thing, we might actually save it. So I will put this aside. This one's also bad roots in this whole container. So let's clean this up. This will go away. New soil, new medium. And these will also go under a UV lamp. I want to clean these up. Let's clean up the knife. Okay. So let me show you after the first removal. Not good. These might all be gone. And the way this kind of infection looks, this looks like frost. This looks like cold damage. And when you have root problems, that can happen a lot easier. I will try to save this seedling. And it's the only one that I can save here. The others all had something. But yeah, that's why I'm bringing them in now. Why I want to control the seedlings more. This will go under the plant lamp as discussed. Straight below the plant lamp. This will go away also. Used up. Then I wanted to look at these. So I will transplant them over here. Just so I have them in a clean medium. This one has a root problem. Check it out. So that needs to go. Can't leave it on. If I take it off now, the wound is clean. So that means I can heal that under UV light. Here's a little ladybug kind of, yeah, ladybug, something like that, or the relatives. I encourage to have them, like I try to have them around the cacti and the plants because they are, you know, good plants against certain pests. Yeah, and apparently it didn't. I had treated them with neem oil, and apparently it didn't for them. I was worried when I was treating them with neem oil, that some of the beneficial insects are also gone. So I I put a lot of effort into checking the soil, making sure nothing is in there, like bigger, you know, but the neem might still be around. I'm not sure how long it lasts, you know. Okay. Yeah, so these will also new fresh soil. And the one that where I had to remove the root system, I turned that one upside down. This will also be placed under the lamp until the wound is calloused. Right now, it's the best option to just turn it around so it can callus. I don't want to place the fresh wound upside, like on the soil now, because if I would do that, it could become infected again right away. So yeah, that's why I first need to callus this thing. First need to heal the skin so it gets a little bit more resistant against water, fungal infections that comes through water. Okay. Then I wanted to show you something. I did a few grafts. Check this out. I did a few grafts here, and this is a Echinopsis as a grafting stock, and it's been popping again. Check out how much of the Echinopsis I had removed to keep it from popping. I have literally scarred the whole plant that I was using as a stock. Because when you use Echinopsis as a grafting stock, they often pop like here. So it was done in an attempt to get rid of it. But over time, they would still manage to pop. They would still do it. So I want to take it off now. Because right now, what I have here, this is the piece that I wanted to graft. This is a little piece of a Pseudolobivia hybrid. And this is the important piece for me. The grafting stock was some sort of a common Echinopsis, nothing rare, you know? So I tried to just sit the thing on top of the Echinopsis so it can grow from the energy that the Echinopsis provides. But yeah, the moment the Echinopsis starts growing, the moment the Echinopsis starts popping, it will put the energy into these and not in this anymore. So we need to take it off. We need to take all the pups off that it sends out. You could root them, by the way. You could just root these. Maybe we're doing it just to see what kind of a Echinopsis I grafted on there. Took both off. This is the skin. I really tried to have scars all around. It's not beautiful. But this was a really important Echinopsis that I wanted to propagate because I was really worried about losing it. At that time, the main plant had some sort of an infection that required me to cut. So I wanted to make sure that the grafts that I did that they took. So yeah, this kind of grafting stock was kind of the poor victim of that, but you can. It shows what you can do. It shows how you can propagate. It shows how you can graft on Echinopsis. How you can, if the plant is a little bit too, if the plant pops too much, you can keep it from popping by removing the edges, by flattening the edges. People do that all the time in grafting. And yeah, in this case, this is okay now. What I could do here to improve it is maybe take a little bit more out of the edge here, out of the ribs, scarring this again a little bit more, because at some point the skin will heal. The grafting stock will find ways to put energy into it. And yeah, so I kind of scarred it a little bit more. And with that, I suppose it will continue to grow here, maybe flower from here. This is the piece that I want to propagate. I want this to pop, and it's on a good path. It's actively growing. This is already over 1.5 years old, so it has the age. If the graft hadn't took, it wouldn't be here anymore. So it's just a matter of having a little bit of patience until it pops again. So yeah, this is okay. This is great. Obviously, when you cut like this, it can't go into humidity, can't go straight into the greenhouse. But apart from that, that was that. Okay, then I have 2 more seedlings here that I also wanted to sit in pumice. And when I'm done with that, we're doing something else. I want to do the seedlings, want to check the seedlings. But this is important. I need to get, I want to gain a little space, and you often get that by weeding out, by checking. Some of the seedlings might not be healthy, and the sooner you find that out, the better. Okay, so yeah, these I clean, just removing the dirt from the roots, but carefully. These are 2 healthy seedlings, the way I see it. From a hybrid cross between Otto Schulz and a columnar Trichocereus. It's very interesting. So I want to put that into a very fast draining kind of soil. And the washed pumice is great for that. Okay. So yeah, these 2, Otto Schulz, I want to see what comes from them. Otto Schulz is often talked about that it is so dominant. So we will see what comes from them. Okay, so this goes into the trash. and we will do the others later at a different time. Let's do the seedlings because it's necessary. I need to water them. So this goes into the trash. I just bring a new one. Give me a second so we can get started here. I'm just cleaning up a little. Okay. Okay, let's get started here. Cleaning this up a little bit, and then we will check on the cactus seedlings from the last couple months, 2 or 3 months maybe. Just cleaning up here. There's always so much trash when I do the cactus stream. There's, you know, you have soil everywhere. It's just difficult to do that without making a mess. Okay, so these need water. Apart from that, they've been fertilized. So any discolorations at that point, I think they are genetically caused. But there's a lot of green in between, so we will see. Also a little bit of reddish discolorations here in here. That is probably sun stress from the lamp, just a reaction to the light of the plant lamp that we're using here. Okay, just trying to find that little can that we have here. Over there. Okay, so yeah, I will start watering. A lot of them need water now. The age of the seedlings here, this is 2.5 months old. Might even be 3 already. It's somewhere in between. And they get water now. They get water 3 times a day. Where I usually spray them. And like I said, later I want to maybe take apart the water sprayer that I brought because it didn't spray anymore. Need to find out what's the problem there. Okay, yeah, water runs through. Ideally, I would love to have the water like with a tray below, and we might get us a few trays sometime soon, because it allows the water to, you know, to soak in a little. It's just we're growing so many seedlings. I need to see how I find the perfect tray for that. Okay, so next one, these here. Color-wise also, I took them out because I felt like maybe they could use some fertilizer. And at that point, everything that looks a little bit yellowish, unusual, is probably variegated now. We will see a lot of seedlings, some of them very green and some of them totally not green. Soil is too dry. You can see that. I mean, it's obvious if you touch it, and also that it is so brick-like, so firm. So let's water this before it dries out too much. It's not good when the soil dries out excessively. It usually takes a while until it's flexible again, and you try to avoid that it gets to the point. But sometimes when you take them out of the bag, I keep the cactus seedlings in the bag for maybe 2 months. But once you take them out, everything dries out very fast. Okay. So next one. Yeah, they need to be transplanted. Should we start? Okay, let's do one. I want to transplant a few out of this pot because it's too many many in one pot, but we have that problem in so many others too. So maybe we should start at one that is even fuller. Maybe let's do it here. Okay. So the soil was too dry here. Not perfect to start off, to be honest. It will take a while until the soil is flexible again. But yeah, it will work. We're not sowing out. So I will try to just get a few of the seedlings here that are too close to the edge. This needs to be singled out, or it will single itself out. Means you will lose seedlings. Okay. Good. Just removing the worst for now. There will be times when, like when we're outside, when I have a little bit more space for just to work. Okay, this is going to take a while. They are almost at the size when I could already single them out into washed pumice. That is the medium that I use a little bit later. For now, this will work. This will be okay. The more cactus seedlings are together in one clump, the more difficult it gets to handle them, to plant them. At the beginning, growing together gives them a little bit of stability. So I try not to single them out completely. Try to not take them apart too much. If you have a few together, that's usually good for them. It just later on, once the space runs out, you need to kind of be careful. Otherwise, they will just eventually, they compete for space, you know? And eventually, space is limited. Somewhere, a seedling will grow against the wall and split, and that causes the infection that costs you the pot. Okay, yeah. It's a lot of seedlings, but this is good stuff. So I'm constantly torn in I'm constantly horrified to see all the seedlings that we have here, but I'm also very positive, you know, like optimistic, thinking about the flowers that we can get from them. Also, this is just good stuff. It's nothing bad, nothing mediocre where I would expect that all of them come out bad, you know. All of them have potential. At some point when I bring them out, we will transplant them in washed pumice. For now, when they are inside, I don't want them to be in a super fast draining mix. We could already put them into pumice, and it might be a little bit safer in regards to overwatering, but we could have like much worse problems with excess, like with loss of water, that we can't provide enough water for the seedlings. When you have it in pumice, that the water will run right through it. You don't have a lot of time for the water to soak in. So that's why I really like working with sowing soil in the beginning. So I'm constantly trying to just reposition. When you transplant seedlings, it's never really perfect. Once you change that one seedling, another one will move in a weird way that you have to correct again, and that's how it will always be. So yeah, every time I touch something like this, I'm correcting. Okay, for now, this is acceptable. It's not great, but it's okay. There are just too many seedlings for now. When they are a little bit bigger, then we can already start to maybe select a little. You can in the beginning, for example, when you see, like when you try to get a certain hybrid, like a certain body type from a hybrid, in the beginning, when you see that the body goes into a different direction, you can already sort some stuff out if it failed to meet that kind of requirement in regards to the body. So this is KA 2023 177. Mother is BS. Ingo Bartels 2016 4604 KA1. Okay. And the father is KA 1789 8. Gräsers schönste Kinky. Yeah, a lot of different parents involved. Hard to tell how they will come out. When you have so many names on a piece of paper, I haven't seen the parents, so I can't really say much. Apart from that, there are cases when I know some of the parents and I have some, have the mother plants, the same mother plants, but in a lot of Uwe Kahle crosses here, he's using newer hybrids that I haven't even seen before. So yeah, singled them out a little here. They will stay in. That will allow me to control the humidity. Later, I will have to correct again. This here needs to be corrected. I can't leave it like that. It just bothers me. So we are transplanting these here too. It just looked too bad. Okay. So watering the soil now, so I can work with the seedlings without having that soil stick to everything. Like when you are trying to bake and everything is full of flour. Seedlings look great here. The reason I took them out of the pot now was that big ball of seedlings in center. I hate that. Okay. Right now the soil takes a while to soak. Huge problem in the beginning when the soil is too dry. For sowing out, I wouldn't want to work with that soil. But for now, just for transplanting, this is okay. It will work. So yeah, here's this little ball of seedlings. All kinds of different cactus seedlings, and they could all flower differently. You know, it's not that I'm growing these without the potential that they all look a little bit different. That's the interesting part. Here's one where the root came off. That one doesn't have a chance, and I need to take it out now. That is the risk when you are taking apart these balls of seedlings. Sometimes the root is just ingrown into a bigger piece, into a bigger pebble, whatever, and then it breaks off. So yeah, I'm trying to remove a lot of the soil, but the soil isn't really my problem. The soil looks good. The reason I'm singling them out is because the seedlings had grown together in a way that made it hard for to have a healthy kind of container growth in there. With seedlings growing normally, it was just some seedlings were on the outer part of that ball. Some got no light at all, no water. And I know that is bad because long term you will lose more and more seedlings through that. So we're correcting it here. I will really try to find out more about the parents of this cross. Maybe I can look at some photos, and that will allow me, hopefully, to make a decision how many seedlings I want to keep of each cross. So yeah, this is getting a little full. There's a little bit space left in that other pot. Okay, let's put these in here. It's really difficult in the beginning because you never know which hybrid will be good. So you're constantly torn in between reading labels, trying to understand what kind of a plant is involved there, because everything today has so many names of so many different numbers. So within the next few months, I will try to find out more, and that will allow me to decide how many seedlings we will keep of each. Here's a piece of wood. I will take that out. It's not that it would be inherently dangerous for the seedlings, but it's an obstruction. Takes away the view. It can put pressure on the root if you are moving seedlings and you don't see it. So that stuff goes out. Everything that is too obstructive. Okay. But yeah, it's looking good. I'm transplanting slowly, one seedling after the other. Here's also another one of those seedling balls that it's best to take apart. Okay. So yeah, I'm trying to single them out a little bit, but still keeping them somewhat close together, because there's really stability in numbers. It gives them that little bit of extra protection. Also, so they don't become an easy victim to insects. Sometimes when you have it's like when the Romans try to walk in formation with the shields. That's how it feels a little with the seedlings. When you have them close together, they are better protected against everything that comes from outside. But then again, when you have them so close together, they are also more vulnerable for everything that starts from the inside. Any kind of infection that you get somewhere deep inside, it can affect all the seedlings slowly over time. And also you don't see it sometimes when it's happening somewhere down. Okay. Yeah, and like I said earlier, you never fully stop correcting the position of the seedlings. At least not when you in the beginning, after you move them a little, after you transplanted them, because they are pretty loose. They are just, when you are watering, that their position will change a little. So you need to have an eye on them long term. Okay, but this is a little better now. I took apart that horrible kind of seedling ball that I saw there. Oh man. The more seedlings are out of the pot, the dirtier it gets here. The more seedlings have to be repotted, taken apart. It just creates a swamp. So here's another seedling that fell out. We'll just stick that in here. Go away, please. Leave me alone. Okay. So yeah, here we have a few more. Check out. The color is okay. Growing healthily. I'm not sure what it is. Just has a number. Here's some more seedlings that have fallen out of the pot on the other side. When you're sowing out, you have so many seedlings. If you have a lot of space, you could have millions of cacti within short time. Just from sowing out. Sowing out is great. I will water them. Needs more water. Apart from that, they got nutrients, they got fertilizer. They got everything they need. For now, I'm pretty happy with them. Even the small seedling here, even the small seedling looks like it will make it. So in that regard, I'm happy with them. So these here, way too deep. And you know, the longer you have them in the pot, the deeper it gets. Because check this out. Maybe we can fill it up. Okay. Yeah, and this is what happens to soil when it dries out. It bricks. That's what they are always talking about when they say something bricks. It's literally a massive, like a piece of cement. But that allowed us to take everything out. Now we have a little bit more soil in there. At least they're a little bit higher now. I will try to get the soil loose again, but it will be hard. This needs to be put in water for a little bit longer. And once that soil is flexible again, then I can try to tear it apart and press everything at level of the pot. For now, it's too dangerous to move around. I already felt like I was ripping too hard on the seedling. Not sure if I injured it or not, but in that phase, everything is still too dry. Usually you would put that thing in something like this. And that allows the soil to slowly soak a little. So I just hope that eventually we will be able to get this to a point where it's all on one level again. Hey, thank you. Yeah, that was like, I just realized you know, why am I not posting all the good videos that I filmed last year? You know, I'm sitting on so many videos and posts that I could post, but I'm not doing it. You know, so that's why yesterday I started posting some of the time lapses again, and I will continue to do so. They are just too good. I'm just preparing everything for the new ones. I will film the whole summer, trying to film new time-lapse videos of the flowers. And also plans, you know. I have installed all the updates. I might need 1 or 2 charging cables, because when you do the time-lapse, you have to run it on electricity all the time, because otherwise it would pull the battery like empty within just 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours. And during the night, I usually came down and found that everything had failed, that the video was completely lost, you know. So yeah, since then I run them on electricity. And yeah, so I might need 1 or 2 charging cables, and then we can set things up again. I'm getting ready to film again. The time-lapse videos were amazing. I'm looking forward doing more long-term, you know. We could grow so many amazing things here. I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah. This aside. Okay. Just looking if the soil is becoming a little bit looser, but still nothing. This will take a while. I will leave it like this, maybe for 10 minutes or so. Until then, I will just open some of the containers that I brought. I'm just always unhappy about the fact that everything is so dirty when I'm working here. But you just can't do that kind of thing without having a little soil here and there, unfortunately. But that's why I try to work also with soil. If you are working with mineral stuff all the time like this, you really breathe it in. Okay, yeah, I wanted to have a look at this seedling. Very weak looking, variegated at best, if not maybe thick. So for now, I will close it again. This is too small to take out. And the seedling looks like it might not have a chance. This is a feathers hybrid, I think. Verlets crossed with feathers, something like that. Yeah, and genetically, they're also a little bit more distant. Okay, I don't need these anymore, I think. I got like gloves that are the size of kids. They only had small gloves, so now I can barely get them off. Okay. Yeah, they are looking okay. The color instantly raises alarms with me. It's just that they are so small. They are so small that fertilizing them might be a little bit, might cause problems when I do it in a closed bag. I need to take them out very soon. But the size just isn't there yet. That is the problem. If you take them out now, you might lose a lot of seedlings that are still too small. Sometimes it's all about trying to just be able to keep the bag on the seedlings long enough for the most sensitive ones to survive. You always have to look at those. And yeah, sometimes you need to, 1 or 2 weeks can make a huge difference. In this case, I'm not sure. They look really weak genetically. Mamacita. Yeah, we'll see. For now, I will leave it in. I have been fertilizing earlier, so we could start fertilizing them. But I don't have the fertilizer here, so I don't want to like stand up from the stream and get it. I will do that later. These will get a little fertilizer despite the fact that they're in the bag. Okay, these are rather small, and some of them are very variegated. Some green seedlings in between, but majority of them might not be healthy. We would see. In the beginning, you can have those early discolorations that disappear again, that are just there in the first 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe, to indicate stress. Sometimes the germination wasn't flawless, didn't work flawless. You might have had bad humidity, where the seedlings just don't get that perfect health from the beginning. So sometimes when they are reddish, have reddish discolorations in the beginning, it can disappear. In this case, I doubt it. So here, on the opposite side, healthy green seedlings, most of them at least. A few have these like reddish tips, seedling tips. Probably a reaction also to having suboptimal water level during the germination. So now just a few drops of water, not much. I don't want to have too much water in there. Okay. Just want to make sure that the soil stays somewhat flexible. Seedlings are still very small at that size. They can't really have soil that is completely bone dry. It's bad for the roots in the beginning. They just need a little bit of humidity to grow in. Yeah, this was a second germination attempt, I believe. 2 seedlings now. And the seeds were old. So that was the reason there were only 2 seedlings. Happy with that we got more seedlings after trying it again the first time. After it kind of failed a little the first time. Oh, come on, man. Okay, so this one, total failure. I already felt it when I tried to open it and it wouldn't work. So this is old seeds, unviable at this point. You can invest more time to get back, like to induce germination in very old seeds, in almost lifeless seeds. It can work. You just have to invest a lot of time and space. Not willing to invest a lot of space here. So yeah. For now, that is it. You could really do this 2 or 3 more times. Let the soil dry out. Start to induce germination again by having the right humidity and temperature, and then maybe hoping you will get more seedlings with the 3rd attempt. But at some point, I just need the space. These are the ones that we had just now. Next one. These were transplanted. Also, one of the containers that had a little bit of a bunch of seedlings too close, seedling balls. Yeah, for now they stay in humidity until they have recovered. I see discoloration from stress on the seedlings, and that means they need a little bit. I should have had like more patience with them, hardening them up slowly over time. But yeah, it is what it is. They just need to get used to the environment. The environment will never try not to be too hard on the seedlings. They will just have to face the elements. Okay, this was Echinopsis glauca. I think we can move them out now. This goes away. Also one that was unviable, unfortunately. And some of them worked, like we got some of the seedlings from Echinopsis glauca, but a lot of them were unviable. Oh, so here's something that is important to show. This is the point when the pH level of the soil gets bad, when that algae can thrive. I had that in humidity for a while. The algae had kept growing, not really visible, but sometimes it happens on the soil. It covers the top layer of soil with this greenish sludge, and it has grown a lot. So this is the time now. No matter how small the seedlings are, how small the smallest seedlings are, this needs to come out of humidity now. We could transplant them all into new soil. We could do that. That is the one alternative scenario here. But some of them are really small. We could already, by just transplanting them in a new soil, they might have a worse outlook than when I take them out now in the original soil, in the original position with all roots intact. Because the moment I will start taking them out now, I will also damage some of the roots a little bit. So maybe we are trying it out now. And I don't think all of the seedlings here will make it. But yeah, this goes out of the bag now. Otherwise, we would have to at least transplant all seedlings into sowing soil. And in the sowing soil, it could have another month maybe in the bag where you could keep it in humidity for longer. That's an option that we could take. But yeah, for now, I feel like they have a higher chance of survival if I leave them the way they are now. But I have to water, I have to spray. I can't leave them alone. Can't really forget about them for days. So these here, they are coming slowly. They also had a little phase where I needed to get involved. I repositioned a lot here, moved seedlings, created space, and now they are doing well under the lamp. But yeah, gotta always be behind with the watering. Like, don't get behind. Don't forget it. It is something that I do all day long. And I have phases in my life when I have depression, when I'm not doing well. And then during these times, it gets so hard to do that. And you need to watch out for that, you know? Like, if you have that, you need to really be careful, because that's the time when you often lose the seedlings. And sometimes seeing the pattern can help. So yeah, these here don't look so good. I've seen some of the seedlings look like they have fungus gnat problems. So this will be cleaned up now. Cleaned up meaning I removed the seedlings that are infested. And then this will be dried, completely dried up. The thing that could mask it, the only thing that can also cause a similar kind of damage that we have here, just dried up seedlings that are damping off, you know, can also be drying out, just dehydration. Sometimes you have something that looks like a fungal infection, that looks like a pest, but it's actually just lack of water. Because sometimes in the beginning, they need excessive amount of water. Especially if you keep them inside under a plant lamp, near a heater, whatever, you know, that classic indoor temperature, it's very hard to make up for the loss of water that they have during the day. So here, I will take this one out, I think. So let's see if we can maybe analyze the root. Yes, it's a root. No, but I was trying to see if they have any sort of fungus gnat bite marks, but I'm not seeing that. Not at all. It's possible that these didn't have enough water. Depending on what kind of a species you have. So yeah, that right now makes puts you in front of the question whether this is too much or not enough water. Because if it's too much water, then it's then you allow a soil with so much humidity that it promotes the fungal gnat larvae to continue to grow. That's the other option, you know. I'm not seeing fungus gnats here, but I've seen them around the plants, you know. I really think this could have been just dehydration. So I will water them. I will try to water them a lot today, and then I will keep it. Then I will have a look at it again. If I see kind of fungus gnats, then I would instantly let the soil dry out completely. But yeah, it looked really dried. Some parts of the seedlings here looked really dried. And that is perfect. That explains. That is a perfect example for the for what I usually say when like that. You sometimes get into a position where you are unsure if you are not watering enough or too much. That is one of the most common problems with cactus seedlings. So yeah, and that makes it difficult. That makes it a little bit harder to kind of. You have to be certain, because if you are not sure, then you continue to do what is actively, like, you know, too much for the seedlings. What costs you the seedlings? So you really need to be certain whatever you're doing is right. In this case, they look great, but they look a little thirsty. So also watering here. Oh, I knocked over the seedlings that we just transplanted. Oh, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. I thought sometimes you knock something over and it's completely unrooting everything you did. Just a little, just a few seedlings here and there, nobody will notice. I just pressed them into the pot again. So, all right. Let's have a look at that water sprayer that I wanted to take apart, because I have that water sprayer and it's not working anymore. And I need to spray. So I want to have a look at it. So this is the water sprayer. And I just want to open it up. So this thing here, this is pretty firm usually. And I couldn't get it open, like with my muscle problems, I couldn't get it open with just my hands. And that is a problem that I have a lot after the Lyme disease. So I will try to open it up with this thing here. So we will see. Somehow it's not pulling. Okay. Still under pressure. Okay. So let's see what has been clogging this thing up. This worked, this kind of stuff, like screwing. It stuck out to me, like when the stuff with my muscles was so bad. That was, you know, where you see all the situations where you are disadvantaged when you have some sort of a problem, like with muscles, some sort of a handicap, whatever, you know, everything that where you don't think about normally, and then you get into a situation when it happens to you where you see it in front of you, and like with all the different things that you need to screw up, like screw open a bottle. I had problem cooking coffee, that kind of stuff, you know. Okay, so let's have a look. It shouldn't look like that. This thing had algae in the tank, and it keeps, like right now, somehow it keeps sucking it in, keeps dissolving it and keeps sucking it in. So I will try to clean this. And then I can hopefully use it again, because I really need the water sprayer here with the seedlings. It's irreplaceable, absolutely essential. Can we take this off maybe? I don't want to break it. I think I broke it. No, I'm not sure. I think not. I just opened this up because it has a lot of sludge in it. Okay, so let's try it out again. This could already work, and it will clog again. I need to do this a few times. In the past, like when a water sprayer suddenly didn't function anymore, I bought me a new water sprayer. But unfortunately, I'm poor. You know, you need to always, when you have something that works, you have to invest a little time and effort to get it to working again if it suddenly stops working. So yeah, let me try it out. This thing works by building pressure, kind of pumping, and now it should. Look at this. Isn't this nice? This is great. I love it. I'm so happy that it works again. I had, like in the last few days, I had real problem just making up for that time. It saves you a lot of time when you can just boop, boop, boop. Really saves you a lot of time, and I will do that later. Okay, nice. I repaired the water sprayer. I'm so happy. Sometimes it doesn't take much. Most of the stuff that breaks, that is what I kind of started to realize. Like the older I got, when I was younger, I felt like I was so arrogant that I said, I'm sure I will never have to repair something, you know, because I was historically bad at repairing stuff, like ridiculously bad at repairing stuff. And I always felt like, you know, I couldn't even learn it when I tried. So I never really bothered with it. And over the years, when you don't have that lot of money, you kind of learn how to. You need to learn how to repair stuff. And that, I feel like that brings you a little bit further in life. That, you know, that feeling that whatever breaks, you might be able to save it. That's a good thing to have with plants and also with the tools that I'm working with. Okay. So I will put these at the bottom here. I don't want to continue making a sludge here. I brought containers that I want to control, where I want to check the humidity. But first, I'm desperately trying to keep a clean desk here. Really not easy. Okay. So these takeaway containers. Takeaway containers that we have been sowing out cactus seedlings in. And so far, they were okay. The takeaway containers were okay compared to the square pots. Not great, just okay. But you can do it. You can use them. They are not really bad. But the square pots are just a little bit more easier to use, more comfortable to use. No seedling in this one. This is pink stripes, unfortunately. Could be that the seeds were unviable here. I love pink stripes. I always, when I have a flower on pink stripes, I pollinate it every time. And I have 5-10 plants. I have a lot of different pink stripes. And I try to pollinate them all. And sometimes when you pollinate them, the cross will set a fruit, will have seeds, but they will not be viable. And that is probably what was the case here. Yeah. No seedlings. And this was from Feathers hybrid. We might still get some. These are relatively young. I have a lot of newer stuff at the heater, so we will just give them time. I just want to check on them on a regular basis, because I like when you see a problem early, you can often still correct it. But if you only open them up every couple of weeks, then by that time everything that happens has happened. Yeah, in this one, no seedling also. These were old seeds, Sörensia huasha. I was expecting not to get seedlings from those seeds, but I'm a little bit disappointed. Yeah, I waited too long. Also, no seedlings here. Sometimes the soil looks like there might be seedlings on it, but it's just little pieces that they add per lead for drainage, that kind of stuff. Yeah, nothing. Everything that has no seedling in it will go back to the heater. I usually will not correct a lot of the humidity problems here. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to overwater. Sometimes when you can see the humidity on the walls of the container, that is a sign that it's enough to induce germination, that you can, with the humidity that you already have in there, can get seedlings. So yeah, I sometimes look less at the soil itself, but the overall container and how much water you can see in there, because you keep it starts collecting everywhere, all around the container, on the lid. It starts forming everywhere, and that will still be in there. It will constantly drip down on the seeds. That can be good and bad. Okay, this is one I dropped, I believe. Here's a total mess in it. Not sure what happened here, but I think I dropped it. But no seedling, so no harm done. Okay. This one, I will fill up a little, just a tiny bit of water. Just a few drops here. Okay, and this will also go to the heater again. Looks good. Phase 11, 2 seedlings, and these will go away from the heater. These will go to the lamp now, plant lamp. I don't want to have that too long at the heat source, because that can mean that the seedlings are overheating that you already have. By the way, I wanted to say something. I noticed that our subreddit is really taking off. The Trichocero is subreddit, so check it out. We are having a great community, starting to have a really good community. I try to have an eye on it, to post there on a regular basis. But yeah, it's turning into a real nice community too. And I enjoy it. We'll see where it leads us, you know? Okay, so here's something. This is one of the moments where it's good that we constantly check on the seedlings. This is a container with seedlings where I try to induce germination. Amun-Re, just recently, I believe. And you can see in center there, that is spore germination. It's not the type of germination that we wanted to have. This is a fungal spore germination, and it's probably starting from a seed or something that we put in there during sowing out. That is why I try to put in so much effort into cleaning the seeds, because sometimes that one piece of organic thing that is stuck to one of the seeds can cause this. And the good news is, at this point you can still remove it. You can still just take it out. In this case, the soil isn't really perfect medium for the fungal infection. Sometimes you have wood decomposing mushrooms that can take this stuff apart, like the sowing soil, but it's rarer. I haven't seen it so often. Usually when I have spore germination, it's either cobweb kind of spore germinations, and that usually happens when you have too many seeds in the container, or if the seeds are dirty, and in this case also dirty seed probably. So I would take that out now. That completely roundish thing, see, came out completely, like in one. Soil is clean now. I can close this up again without this thing coming back, because I also took out whatever this was living off. Probably sometimes it's an unviable seed. Sometimes it's just a little bit of pulp that you didn't clean well. In this case, me. Yeah. I'm seeing similar stuff on other spots, by the way. Here. It's just the starting point of new germinations. So something with the seeds is not all right here. It's starting everywhere. I have seeds like where I had, you can really see the little seed in center every time. So I try to take that out. I will put in more water to disturb fungal growth. These kind of mushrooms, they need pretty specific conditions, and sometimes not enough water can be bad for them, and too much water can be bad for them too. So we're putting in too much water, just a little bit, to see if maybe the seeds are still viable, because they could, you could have that kind of result here with viable seeds, and you could have that because depending on what germinates first. Sometimes you have seeds that take maybe 10 to 14 days to germinate, but the spores from this mushroom, they germinated within 2 or 3 days. So you could still get viable seed. You could still have viable seeds in there. You could still get germinations from those seeds. I will close it up again. This now has a little bit more water than it should. But it is just exactly enough water to put the fungus at a disadvantage, and that could work. We will see next time we're opening this thing up, and if it has spore germinations again, it will be the end. Then we will dry it out, let everything dry out completely, and then maybe we're trying it again. So here's another container. This time clean, no fungal infection in this one. Different kind of seeds. Very often when you have a fungal spore germination in a container, it's from the seeds. Seeds are the most common contaminant, like source of contaminations that you can have, by far. A lot of people work with very clean medium, and then you put in the seeds, and it's basically like it was before. You put in all the effort to pasteurize. So here, no germinations. Seeds Sörensia also. I split those seed up into 2 containers to see if they are viable. Sometimes you have a problem in one container, but if you have the same non-viability in both, then it can tell you that the seeds are probably nothing anymore, not good anymore. Okay, yeah, here, different seeds of Amun-Re. I will give it another week, but this is not a good sign. I've had a lot of non-viability of Amun-Re. There are also some seedlings that that are okay, where you have healthy seedlings, but it's not enough. No seedlings here. This was Isla del Sol. Really frustrating. The best kind of plants, you know, the plants that I was really looking forward to having seeds of, those had poor viability. What's this? Hageocereus echinopsis. Yeah, intergeneric can also have poor viability. Every time, like if you look at the label into every one of those, you can find good reasons why the seeds didn't come up or haven't come up so far, at least. In some of them, we will still get seedlings. I believe it. But some of them, you can really, if you look at the label, it makes it clear that there were genetic problems that caused the seeds to not come up. This is also second container for that Isla del Sol hybrid cross. And this one, pink stripes, also. Yeah, you can't win them all. Sometimes you lose. Okay. Yeah, these will go to the heater again. I will keep them at the normal heat again, at the heater. I want to get to a point, I don't know, maybe we would stop sowing out so much. Like at least cactus, you know, because we have so many, we need to care for them. Will be hard to get everything under control. So I might, in the future, do more stuff like singling out and less like sowing out, you know. But I'm not sure if I can keep that promise. I just love sowing out. It's just fun. Okay. So let me see. I will discuss a few of the other containers again. But yeah, maybe doing another 10 minutes. I'm happy to take questions if you guys wanna ask anything. If not, I will just continue to discuss a few of the containers that I didn't get to in the beginning. Little cactus seedlings, maybe 2.5 months old. Yeah, looking good. I like that. They've been getting fertilizer. They still have a little bit of dehydration to catch up on. But we're getting there eventually. So let me get one of these. Yes, because here's another one where the soil has completely dried out. And I want to, sometimes when the soil is like this, it really helps to let the water soak in a little. You can water them from the bottom, and there are a lot of cacti that people recommend to water from the bottom. I really need to say that, and it's true. Watering from the bottom is a lot safer because it allows the seedlings to get the water when they need it. But yeah, it's a little bit more work. So for now, I will wait until this has soaked a little. In the meantime, I can discuss something else. These here, they are too deep in the pot. That is something that I would love to correct now. But they are just, right now, they are growing, you know. The moment I start singling them out now, I will also stress them. And you always have to think about if you want to risk to stress them now, or if you want to give them another couple of weeks or so. In my opinion, it can be good to just wait sometimes. Wait a little longer, because in that time, some of those tiny seedlings that might not make it when you transplant them now, they might be a little bigger then. So yeah, for now, I will disregard the fact that they are so deep in the pot. It's not that it's not a problem, but for now, there are worse things to worry about. Okay. This will take a while with the water. The soil inside is not perfectly saturated yet, and it's been standing here. You usually leave it for quite a while. This can take an hour. So let's put this aside. This one, use one for that too. And let's water it from the bottom. You would do that watering from the bottom with a lot of water-sensitive cacti. Mexican species, for example, stuff that is in a mineral medium that you should pot in a mineral medium anyways. What I'm growing here, I try to grow in an organic soil, and only the stuff where I really see that big advantage, I want to use the mineral mediums, like the pumice that we've used earlier. It's just when you are working with it all the time, it's a little bit better when you only have to worry about the soil and not also about mineral dust. A lot of cactus breeders have problems with the lungs later on. And yeah, that's something that I always talk about because it's always on my mind. I've seen it so often. Seen quite a lot of cactus breeders with COPD, that kind of stuff, you know. So I just hope that by working with a more organic soil, we can have we can keep a healthy kind of air quality. Hey, welcome to the stream. Great to have you. I'm just on my way out, but nice to see you. Great that you said hello. Yeah, I'm just talking a lot of stuff today, and I hate when it gets so dirty. Hate when I gotta bring in stuff from outside, but now's the time. Now's the time to do it. So yeah, within the next couple of weeks, we will have to do a lot of seedling stuff, repotting. And then we will start with the new season in March. March 15th, we will start with the watering again. So yeah, and until then, I will post a few more time-lapse videos. Maybe today also. I just need to be in the right headspace for that. You have to invest a little bit of time to find a fitting song to match it up. And if you invest a little time, you can really post something that looks amazing. Like that video yesterday, I really liked that combination with the song. So, and I want to do more of that in the next couple of weeks. So I will post a few more of the good ones that we made. And then we will start filming new ones again. And this time with a new camera. So I might even be able to do 2 time lapses overnight at once. So I'm pretty happy about that. So yeah, apart from that, still working outside, doing a lot of removal of trees. and I'm very happy that we get a little bit more light. Yeah, check it out. And later today, I want to clean the windows again. I want to continue cleaning the greenhouse windows, because the light, I want to have the light in now. Right now is the time, like early in the season, if we can do something about the light, now is the time. Because if I wait too long, it will take too long until it has an effect. The plants need to get used to the new light. Because if I do it in summer, they might burn badly, you know. So I have to do that now with the windows, and I will get started today. Maybe I'm doing another video later. So yeah, there's progress. Really working on keeping everything clean and improving what I have here. Maybe I'm trying to straighten out the workplace this year so I can have a straight area. Because everything's so crooked here in the jungle. But yeah, we're on a good path. New season's coming and I'm ready. I would love to start it right away. Okay, guys. I hope you liked the stream. I'm always like, it is really difficult to do that here, like in an office. It's such a dirty work, but you just can't do the hobby without causing a little bit of dirt here and there, without spreading a little bit of dirt here and there. So yeah, I hope you liked it. Thank you. I will be back. I will be back tomorrow. Yeah, and now taking a little break, watering seedlings again. And I might post another video later today. So thank you guys. I appreciated it. I'll be back tomorrow. I hope you have a great Sunday. Hope you have a great day. Take care. Thank you.